I need a secret recipe. Anybody know? I enjoy this magazine so much. I've done so many of these, and no one is watching. We need to spread the word. I try to do as many different variety of books as possible. I think there's something for everybody in here. I just need for people to actually see the videos. I need for YouTube to show the videos. Anybody have a magic hashtag? Something. You can't get this magazine anywhere. It's not even online. I've looked, really looked, especially since the very last year was only digital. And there was this website, MAGGIE, something like that. It says any magazine, anywhere, anytime. But not this one. I looked. Nope. And this one doesn't exist, and it was out there for like 40 years. Nope. You try and find it. So I've done since 2007. I've done 2007, 2008, 2009. We are now on 2010. So please go check out all those videos. All those books are still relevant today. You can still find all those books today. They are still good reads. I have found quite a few of them going back. I can sit here and read these magazines for hours because they are that interesting. You know, there's page, bookmark, and page. I did an if-then on those a couple weeks ago. And they don't cover like this one did. This covered everything. Everything that you would read, that I would read. Not these modern day fiction or contemporary fiction or mainstream fiction. This is stuff we read. The historicals, the romances, the paranormals, the urban, the fantasies, the erotica, the harlequin, that you, the average Joe, Jane, read. So anyways, welcome to the D. Louise book series. It's nice to meet you. I'm Christina, K-R-S-T-I-N-A. This is where we read books and talk books and try and have a good time playing. I'm trying to increase my sign language for Victoria Thompson and for schooling, and I'm doing a very poor job of it lately. But I have flashback Mondays where we're talking about this. This is Flashback Monday today. I have Star Trek recaps on Friday and If Then Friday afternoons. If you like this author, then maybe you like that one. We started with the Bridgertons. If you like Julia Quinn's Bridgertons, then you would definitely like Stephanie Lawrence's Sinsters. And if somebody could get the Sinsters out there on Netflix, that would be awesome because there are over 30 books in that series. And Joanna Lindsay's Mallory's. These are awesome books. So please check out all those. I did forensics. I'm going to do another forensics because once I stopped looking, I found a million of them that I liked better than the first set. Homicide detectives, I found another group. We did American Indians. We did reporters. I'm trying all different kinds of genres, mysteries. We're going to be doing FBI down the road, CIA down the road, lawyers down the road, Grisham type things. So anyways, Romantic Time book review for May 2010. You will not find this anywhere. I love this magazine. And this is where we talk about all the books in this magazine. So let's get started. This is when they started to make their digital debut. And it's not out there anymore. I tried. Interview on Diana Palmer. If I had better video, you'd probably see this better. Dangerous Texan thrilling hero. For 31 years, Diana Palmer has stirred imagination of readers with her wonderfully romantic tales set in a wide array of genres. Whether she's writing as Diana Palmer, Diana Blaine, Katie Curry, or under her legal name Susan Kyle, fans need to expect quality and heart when picking up one of her novels, and her latest Harlequin books, Dangerous, due out in June, is sure not to disappoint Palmer's hero, who is reluctant to share his first name with others, is wounded, driven, and perfect foil for Palmer's hero, 911 operator Winnie Sinclair. Palmer gives many thanks to real-life 911 operator Cindy Argent, who shared her experience with the author and helped to realistically flesh out her main character. This is awesome. I may do this as a if-then. Books that occur in small towns. That may be a good if-then down the road. And Emily Griffin, and we're doing one of her books for the reviews. Emily Griffin. You want to see what your author looks like. For better, for worse. Emily started a diary in 1983 and did not miss a day for the next 2 decades. While she says that her journal didn't necessarily help me publish a book faster, it was invaluable in developing a disciplined approach to writing, even when it is not the most enjoyable thing. Like most authors, Griffin says she wanted to be a writer for as long as she could remember, though when she graduated from Wake Forest University, she chose to go to law school instead of writing novels. We will be talking about these two, SHERRILYN Kenyon. We talked about her in the Vampire If Then, so please check that out. Non-fic pick of the month: what to wear for the rest of your life. Sometimes when your life changes in important and not so important ways, your wardrobe doesn't follow suit. But Kim Johnson Gross, a former columnist at More in Style magazine, is here to help. What to wear for the rest of your life. Ageless secrets of style. Catching up on all your series. I'm a series person. All those books are series. Martha Stewart. Oh, Mariah Stewart. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Coming home. Who moved my button? At the end of January, the buy button suddenly disappeared and stayed gone for more than a week from the Amazon.com listing of all books published by Maximilian, the parent company of publishers like St. Martin, Henry Holt, and Tor Forge. The blog sphere exploded in outrage, casting a light on Amazon's aggressive, some might say bullying tactic of stopping sales of books when it was the publisher they had an issue with, not the authors. Yes, ma'am. Well, come here. Kelly Armstrong tries the young adult genre. We've done some of her books. It is common problem among authors how to write the third book in a trilogy when the first 2 books have become incredibly popular. This embarrassment of riches is what faces Kelly Armstrong this month as her third book in the blockbuster Darkest Powers trilogy. The Reckoning hit shelves from HarperCollins after the first 2 books became runaway hits. There's a lot of pressure because you're trying to do just right, Armstrong says. Those trilogies tell the tale of Chloe Saunders, a girl sent to a home for troubled kids after she discovered she can see ghosts. What? You want to come here? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Teenagers have no problem emailing the author saying, here's what's going to happen, particularly in the romance department where Chloe's got to deal with 2 boys, brothers Simon a werewolf and Derek a sorcerer. It's very funny. Readers will point out to me all the parts of the book which to them Make clear which boy Chloe wants, complete with page number references. Armstrong has made things a little easier on herself by setting her young adult books in the same universe as her popular adult series Woman of the Other World. I completely cheated here. I enjoy my adult universe. Yes, ma'am. And I was able to run with the whole experimentation plot in a different corner. Fans of Armstrong's young adult will be pleased to know the author plans on new teen trilogy she's got in the works. Book 1, The Gathering, will be out soon. Oh, come here. Come here. Question and answers. What's your young adult preference? What's your preference, young adult or adult? I wouldn't say I have a preference. I was surprised how much I like young adult. It's really a nice change of pace, and it's a different way of writing, different from writing a point of view, who has much different issues and much different tool set. What made you want to try young adult? It was a couple of things. One was that I had an idea come out of my second novel, Stolen, which had some ideas about genetic manipulation and experimental on supernaturals. Why did you decide to amp up the romance and the reckoning? It's not amped up a whole lot because it's the first two it's brewing, and there are hints of you've got guys and you've got girls. So there's hints, going to be hints, but these kids are on the run for their lives. They're not going to say, hey, let's catch a movie. Where did you find time to write while taking care of 3 kids? Well, when I was writing Bitten, I had just 1 child. When I sold Bitten, I was 6 months pregnant. By the time it came out, my third was 6 months old. Lord, it took a few years. What? What? So, there you go. The whole article. See how interesting? I could sit here and read the whole thing to you, but we wouldn't have time for our other books. We also have some adult stuff here. Yes, ma'am. What? Susan Brockman, playwright. For her March release, Susan Brockman is going a very different route. She's not doing a blog tour or a book tour, and actually her March release isn't a novel. Her new project, Looking for Billy Haynes, is an off-Broadway play that made its debut in March. Brockman decided to make the detour from romantic suspense author to playwright because it was the best storytelling delivery vehicle for this particular real-life story about an openly gay star, Billy Haynes, who was given the choice between his lover and his career. All right, here we go. Historicals. Look at all those historicals that are reviewed in this magazine. Tons. So let's see. Let's get to it. Christine Wells. Sweet Little Sin. Right there. 4.5 stars. With a clever, pulse-pounding spy thriller, Wells completely enthralls readers. Not only is the suspense high, but the surprising plot twists and non-stop action will keep you turning the pages with bated breath. Once you start reading, don't plan on doing anything else. At 29, most people believe Louisa Brooke to be on the shelf, but she has a secret passion for the elusive Duke of Jardine, one of the Crown's most important and covert operatives. So when the spy master requests Louisa to encourage the attentions of a possible traitor, she agrees just to spite Jardine, and perhaps make him jealous, but her actions endanger her life and Jardine's mission. One slip and everything could be lost. One kiss and their game could be over. One false move and their lives will end. Interesting. Mary Jo Putney. Never Less Than a Lady. 4.5 stars. Putney's latest Lost Lord raises the bar for historical romances. The captivating plot, charming characters with great depth of passion and sensuality combine to make this novel intoxicating and hard to be missed. Midwife and healer Julia Bancroft has been falsely accused of husband's murder. She lives in a village caring for local people, praying for her father-in-law. Lord Daventry never locates her. Daventry was Alexander Randall's guardian, and until Alex reaches majority and entered the military, he is home from the war. When he hears that Julia has been kidnapped, he rescues her and discovers that her husband had been Davy's eldest son, the boy who made his childhood a nightmare. Daventry plans to make Alex his heir, putting Alex and Julia's passion and commitment at risk. Check it out. Susan Enoch, A Lady's Guide to Improper Behavior. 4.5 stars. Each and every Enoch romance is a sparkling gem, bringing over with marvelous characters, depth of emotion, intense sensuality, and a plot that twists and turns, leaving readers breathless and deliciously satisfied. Bartholomew James is a member of the elite and secretive Adventures Club, as the only survivor of an ambush where the rest of his unit was massacred. James is determined to uncover how and why the battle occurred. Teresa Weller is a lady through and through, and though she may despise James' hard behavior, she is drawn to the pain he masks from everyone but her. Why did he steal a kiss from the prim and proper miss? James saw her temper flare and passion rise and couldn't resist. He might be wary of women like Teresa, and he's out of her socially, but she's determined to lure him back from darkness and help him find the answers he seeks. And you know, I went through these books and I still can't figure out why I don't have this one, because I was buying these like crazy. And it looks, I know I have it, I just can't find it. GAYLE, GAYLE. CALLEN. I always get it wrong. In Pursuit of a Scandalous Lady. With her latest trilogy, got 4.5 stars. With her latest trilogy, CALLEN reduces 3 remarkable women who defy society's rules to find passion and love. This is CALLEN's forte, entangle readers in a tale that's delightfully sexy, fast-paced, and filled with encouraging characters who hold your interest to the end. Rebecca Leland, her sister and cousin, vowed to save their scandal-riddled family from disgrace. She never dreamed she would be the cause of an outrage. SAWYER. Everyone is whispering about the identity of the nude woman in the painting hanging in a gentleman's club and the outrageous wager to seduce the mysterious model. Julian Delane wants to find her because she is wearing the scandalous lady, a gem stolen from his family. His goal is to reclaim his family inheritance, win the wager, and find Rebecca, and snares them in a web of deception and passion as they discover love. Beatrice Small. If you've been watching my series, we did her Sky O'Malley series. Come on, hang out with me. Hang out with me. Come on. Sorry, I got an itch. Crown of Destiny. 4.5 stars. The final volume in the world of Hector delivers a fantasy lover's delight. Small brings all the elements inherent to the series and blends them with a multi-fortitude plotline, drawing on family relationships, those that are strong and those that are based on love, jealousy, fear, anger, and even hate. Small represents a portrait of what families withstand during times change that will touch chords and readers. For a century, Lara the fairy woman has go on. Where was I? Has a powerful figure in Tar-Hetor, the land of the Shadow Prince and the city. She has loved many men, mortal and immortal, and her children rule throughout the world. But all is not well. Too many have forgotten Lara's role in keeping their land safe and strong. Colgrim, her son, by the ruthless Twilight Lord, plots to wed and father an heir who will have the power to destroy the lands. Her great-grandson fears Lara's magic is slowly drawing his kingdom into chaos. Her daughter Marzine may have the fairy power to save the lands if she assumes the role. Lara struggles with her descendants but finds peace and passion with her shadow prince Caleb. Her lover and ally, he's the one person willing to help her keep the worlds of peace once more. As they journey to save their world, Lara discovers the destiny awaits and only for herself and those she loves. Candace Camp, A Lady Never Tells. 4 unconventional American sisters and 3 aristocratic bachelor brothers set the stage for the first novel in Camp's Willowmere trilogy, with a bit of mayhem, humor, misunderstanding, and enough sensuality to please any reader. With the passing of their mother, Mary Bascom, and her 3 sisters leave America for England to seek out their estranged grandfather, the Earl of Shrewsbury. Sir Royce Winslow comes to their aid when he stops a thief who snatches Mary's satchel. He is taken aback with the discovery that the now deceased Earl was their grandfather. The present Earl, Royce's stepbrother Oliver, will be responsible for the sisters, who carry pistols and knives and walk around London without maid or footman. Royce is intrigued by the opinionated and spirited Mary and likes her as she is. An attempted kidnapping put the sisters in danger and all bond together to catch the scoundrel. I'm going to feature this lady in a future if then, because these books are hot. 4 stars. Royals. I had the right one and I put it back. Alright, excuse me. So apparently I have 2 copies of the wrong book. Royals Bride and Royals Bride. And the book in the magazine is Rules Bride. So there it is, Rules Bride. But I need to go through her stuff again. But I am gonna do a thing on her because some of her books are massively hard. Alright, so Rules Bride got 4 stars. The final book in Martin's Bride trilogy is just as delightful, sexy, and schemy as the first 2. This marriage of convenience plot is full of adventure, witty repartee, and sizzling passion. Rule Dever is living the high life in London with wine, women, and song, until he gets a surprise visitor, his wife. 3 years earlier, Rule married the American teenage heiress as a favor to her father. He left soon after the marriage to take over a London gun manufacturing plant and never looked back. Now he is confronted with a beautiful woman with whom he is more than willing to assume his role as husband. But Violet Gryffindor has come for an annulment. Rule refuses to give her to another man without a fight. He convinces her to give him a month to court her, but there are others who will stop at nothing, even murder. And Maggie Robinson Let's check it out. Should have done. What did I say? Oh. Huh. Mistress by mistake. There we go. Mistress by mistake. Three stars. Even though the plotline stretches believability and the characters flip-flop going from smart and in love to foolish misunderstandings, there's enough sensuality and a tried and true storyline to make this enjoyable. After his grandfather's death, Sir Michael Bayard returns to London and his latest mistress. But the woman who waits him is not his mistress, Deborah, but her sister Charlotte. Deborah has taken off with a necklace that was loaned to her. Michael forces Charlotte to stay with him as his mistress until the necklace is returned. Charlotte is inflamed with desire by Michael's touch. Though their relationship is filled with strong passion, Michael has a former wife who wants him back, and there is also the matter of Deborah. Interesting. So, shall we do one more? I have it on my list. Alexandria Benedict, the notorious scoundrel. There we go. Up there. 4.5 stars. The sexy, dashing Hawkins brothers return, lifting readers' hearts and temperatures. Benedict employs intense emotion, a keen awareness of human nature and sensuality to enhance these stories. Home from the sea, Edmund Hawkins wanders into a gentleman's club and sees the seductive dancer known as the Golden Lady. Amy Peel has been raised in a foundling home until she was trained as an exotic dancer by a greedy madam. When Edmund is injured rescuing Amy from kidnappers, she cares for him until he regains his memory. Now protected by Edmund and his brothers, Amy learns to be a lady. Okay. And our final one, Margo MAQUIRE, the Rogue Prince, the one down there in the corner. Four stars. Revenge is a double-edged sword and the ideal conflict of MAGUIRE's smoldering love story. Tom has come back from 7 years in hell seeking revenge against the men who framed him for a crime he didn't commit. He recreates himself as a wealthy, mysterious prince of South Seas Island, but when he rescues a young boy from crushed under a carriage and meets the lad's mother, Tom is forced to reevaluate his scheme. Sorry. All right. We're moving on to inspirationals. We have all of those. Janice Thompson. It had to be you. 4 stars. Quirky, fun characters, delicious food, and a whole lot of family fun around the third and final soul-stirring, intimate installment of the Wedding Bella series. Thompson makes readers feel a part of the family they will be sad to leave behind. Wedding planner Bella Rossi seems to have her aunt and uncle's wedding under control. Not even a former mob boss can rattle her. Then Cupid's arrow strikes more couples, causing her business to boom. Requests for Bella to plan other weddings ordinarily would make her happy, but she's planning her own wedding. Can she plan everyone else's big day while still planning her own? Diane Mills. A woman called Sage. Woman called Sage. Mills, oh, got 4.5 stars. Mills brings readers a beautiful love story that will stay with you long after the last page. The characters are bold and demand that readers listen to their story. They tell it their way with honesty and courage. There is romance, mystery, and plenty of adventure. What is up? Sage Morrow had a husband who adored her, a child on the way, and a home. Everything changed when Gunman took it all away. Now Sage is a bounty hunter who always gets her criminal, and she will get those who destroyed her life. She is forced to work with Marshal Parker Timmons to find 2 missing boys. When the local preacher starts spreading ugly rumors about him and Sage, Parker wants to do the right thing to stop the rumors, but all Sage cares about is retribution. Okay. And Jennifer Hudson Taylor, Highland Blessings, 4.5 stars. This romantic story is full of tender moments, and the author adds suspense by examining an arranged marriage with an extremely rocky beginning. Readers will be totally hooked, turning the pages to find out if this marriage can work. Bryce McPherson is a Highland warrior kidnaps Aqua Mackenzie on her wedding day. While Aqua's faith inspires Bryce, she struggles to overcome her anger when he forces her to wed him. Hoping to end a feud between their clans, when Aqua begins to forgive and Bryce learns to trust, a series of murders leaves a trail of unanswered questions, confusion, and a legacy of hate that once again rises between the families. And Janice Thompson. Oh, I did that one. I have it twice. I have it twice on my list. So that's it for. So she's not. No, she's not inspirational. We move on to a brief stop in sci-fi. I don't have pictures. I'm gonna do 3. I don't have pictures for 2. Sorry. The Deceiver, C.J. Sherry, 4 stars. The 11th book in the Foreigner universe is the second novel in a new trilogy. The series is about the descendants of spaceship from Earth that was lost in transit and the complications, interactions between human and aliens. The world building and the characterization are fascinating, but readers may want to start at the beginning. Machi of Tangze, a young but clever and dangerous clan lord, intend to marry Tojo off to Baji of the Mashi clan. The plan was to make her a young widow, then have her relatives step in and help her run the estate. But Baji, the ejectant of the plot, is locked on a cellar Bren Cameron's feet, and Bren is the target of assassin. Dragon Haven by Robin Hobb, 4 stars. The second half of the tale, begun in February's Dragon Keeper, is a mostly satisfying conclusion. Hobb's characterization continues to be top-notch, particularly with Tamara, the outcast teenage girl. Continuing their journey to the fabled city of Kenzie, the dragons, their keepers and support staff, face new dangers and obstacles. Their environment continues to be extremely dangerous, and there are new dangers with the group. But the dragons are no longer the malformed and sickly creatures who hatched black in the Black Rain wilderness. They are becoming fully more dragons every day. And our last one, S.L. Farrell, Magic of the Dawn. Four stars. Few writers can develop a world as fully actual as Nessa Tanko. Characters complex and flawed, move in and out of its secondary players, but it's obvious that the city itself is the main character. A satisfying end to the Nessa Tanko style, A Magic of Dawn only fails to deliver the highest rating because of inexplicit, dubious ex machina. I have no idea what that is. Alexander Calvor has ruled DeSanta for 15 years. The city and its people are slowly coming to resemble the glory of years past before the invasion of Tetuan and the fracture between the city-states. Her son, Jan, continues to lead the coalition of Frenza, and negotiations lead to the wounds of one sludge nation are tepid at best. However, the Tenjinjan are preparing a new attack, and Alessandra and Jan must decide what is important, their differences or Nassandra's future. Mainstream fiction. Oh, we'll stop at graphic novels. Some hot stuff we'll check out later. Alright. Emily Giffin, Heart of the Matter, 4.5 stars. Heart-wrenching, gut-churning, and guaranteed to make you uncomfortable watching these relationships collide feels as real as watching a car crash. The story alternates between two women's points of view, and the feelings of guilt and betrayal are so well crafted they sit heavy in the pit of the reader's stomachs for weeks. Beautiful suburban mom Tessa Russo gave up her career as a professor to raise two children. She has her perfect doctor husband, Nick, a pediatric surgeon. He is called when a 6-year-old suffers massive burns in an accident. Spending so much time with the boy and his mother, Valerie, a single attorney, causes him to fall head over heels in the case, and then the family, Nick and Valerie, try to fight their feelings and ultimately embrace them. Okay. Fern Michaels. Return to Sender. Only 3 stars. Michael's latest novel is emotional and well written. Her heroine, Lynn, has overcome obstacles in a domino manner. It is not so easy to feel sympathetic toward Nick. His poor rich guy character seems like a cliche. The circumstances that surround Lynn's chance meeting with Nick, her son's long-lost father, strain credibility. When 17-year-old Lynn Townsend becomes pregnant, her abusive father kicks her out, and the father of the baby refuses to accept responsibility. Alone, she makes a life for herself and her son, and now runs a successful diner. When her son decides to leave rural Georgia to attend NYU, Lynn has a chance meeting with his millionaire father. Interesting. Karen White on Folly Beach. 4 stars. When a clever, sweet voice in her writing and ability to mark occasions from multiple viewpoints. Her characters are rich and captivating, and the story is tied clearly to incidents in U.S. history that most readers will not be aware of. Maggie has had a rough life. Her parents both passed away, leaving her to rear her young sister Lulu and care for her cousin Kat. As World War II continues and Kat's husband is killed in action, Maggie finds comfort in daily tasks of running her bookstore and holding her household of women together. Then she meets Peter, a young salesman who is exempt from service due to health reasons, and thinks her dreams have come true. but her love for Peter and his love for her are not enough to combat the growing tension in the country and the secrets that surround them. Oh, my foot has fallen asleep. Excuse me a minute. Oh. Oh. Sorry. All right. And Elizabeth Bass, miss you most of all. New author Bass explores the power of connections created by blood, by time, and by choice. The novel is sad, touching, and silly in turn as characters discover forgiveness and love. Rue and her sister Laura have transformed the Texas homestead where they grew up into Sassy Spinster Farm, a successful tourist destination for guests who want to get their hands dirty and eat food fresh from the garden. It's also where Rue is raising her preteen daughter while trying to keep her outspoken sister in check. Then Heidi shows up. The one-time stepsister is back and hiding from something or maybe someone. The farm is turned upside down by Heidi's complicated presence and worse by the return of Rue's cancer. Ugh, not good. Jennifer Ross, the icing on the cupcake. Three stars. More than simply an enjoyable read, Ross's novel provides the reader with countless cupcake recipes that are guaranteed to water in your mouth. It's a fast read following 22-year-old Angie's transformation from bad girl to cupcake entrepreneur and her relationship with her widowed grandmother. There are some flaws in an otherwise entertaining book. Angie's transformation never feels fully fleshed out, and the twist at the end is more machination than anything. Texas socialite Ansley isn't afraid to tell people what she thinks, nor is she reluctant to be cruel. After watching her devastate one of her sorority sisters at a party, Ashley's fiance breaks their engagement with no other prospects. Ashley leaves her hometown and her parents to move to New York and live with a grandmother she's never met. Interesting. All right, we've got some teen stuff going on here. Romantic suspense. I looked for these. Meryl Sawyer played it. 4.5 stars. Sawyer is a master of dishing up exciting suspense that doesn't skimp romance or the twists and turns. Her newest offering works to unlock the mystery behind a misdirected murder. Sawyer's heroine is stuck in a maze where she can't be sure who she can trust, meaning readers are along for a dangerous and frightening ride. Although she is part owner of her deceased parents' legacy Newport surf shop, Haley Fornham longs to be an artist. Given the opportunity to fly to Costa Rica and produce a hotel mural, Haley jumps at the chance and leaves town without telling her family. Haley also let a friend from out of town use her car at her house. What Haley doesn't know is that she has been targeted for death. When Haley's car is blown up and her friend inside, everyone believes Haley is dead. Her Aunt Meg asks FBI agent Ryan Holster, a friend's son, to look into Haley's death. When Ryan discovers Haley is still alive, he's thrilled and worried, for a determined killer is still out there. Oh. Oh, I need to find this one. I have it. Silent Truth, SHERRILYN Kenyon and DIANN Love. I've never seen such a low rating before. Equal opportunity people's here. It only got 2 stars. The story suffers from too much length and momentous of disjointness, where the characters suddenly do something that makes you blink. A thin plot and obvious author shifts add to the disjointedness. But like Illicit Sweets, fans of the series will have to know how the bad series progresses. Hunter Thornpaine may come from great wealth, but he's been dedicated to the Bureau of American Defense for years. His one true friend died on a mission 4 years ago, and Hunter's determined to find the killer. He attends a gala fundraiser for Women's Center in Chicago. Members of a shadow organization are rumored to be attending the gala. As the assassin Hunter seeks, much to his surprise, the familiar face he sees at the party is a woman from his past, Abby. Abby is an investigative reporter, and her mom is suddenly stricken gravely ill after a visit to the Women's Center, and Abby is determined to find out why. Before the evening ends, Hunter and Abby are on the run. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't make too much sense. Line of Fire, Joe Davis. 3 stars. This return to the firefighters of Station 5 is action-packed with familiar faces. Davis provides great insight into all the characters' personalities, bringing them to life. Disappointingly, the younger man, older woman aspect of the story is basically ignored. The death of his brother, a Marine, led Tommy Scully to give up promising football career and become a firefighter. Attracted to Nurse Shay Ford, Tommy can't make any headway until an injury places him in the hospital. Okay. Touching Darkness. The one down here in the corner, Touching Darkness. 4 stars. The hazardous web surrounding the offspring gets higher in this 3rd chapter. Shades of Grey rule in Rush's dynamic series. Most of her characters are dangerous and capable of chilling acts. Rush ratchets up the fear factor as offspring with frightening powers are pitted against each other. When Nicholas Braden was approached by Guardian Darkwell of the CIA to use his unique ability to find people, he thought he would be rescuing kidnapped victims. But now Nicholas fears that the Dark Matter Project is more sinful than that. Darkwell has branded other offspring as rogues and terrorists, and Nicholas' first encounter with his fellow offspring does not go well. Suspecting he's on the wrong side, Nicholas reaches out to the alleged rogues. Lucas, Eric, Petrozo, and the rest are suspicious, but willing to listen. Nicholas also fears for the safety of CIA operative named Olivia, who happens to be Darkwell's daughter. So that's it. That's the end of romantic suspense. And we are moving on to mystery. Alright. PJ Tracy, Shoot to Thrill. The mother-daughter team writing as Tracy bring back their monkey wrench team for a baffling new set of murders. The novels are truly ensemble pieces with various characters providing richness and real warmth to a twisted and disturbing tale. 4.5 stars. When the FBI realizes several online videos containing real murders, they send Agent John Smith to work the monkey wrench team. Grace, Annie, Harley, and Roadrunner, homicide detective Leo Magazzi, and Gio Rothless get involved as well when one of their cases turns up on the web. As the monkey wrench team follows the cyber trail, Leo and Jeannie address the physical clues. Motive remains a mystery, but it could be horrifying simple as a quest for fame. Deborah Coonts. Wanna get lucky? Okay. Wanna get lucky. 3 stars. This enjoyable Vegas romp is filled with amusing scenes, colorful characters, and smart, sarcastic narrator. While the solution to the mystery is very predictable, the ride is worth the while. When a young woman plunges to death from one of the casino's helicopters, Lucky O'Toole, head of customer relations of the Babylon Casino, must add finding the culprits to an already insane daily routine. She also needs a word of advances of security guard Paxton Dane, who may or not be on her side, and best friend Teddy, who is looking to move their relationship into a new direction. Our favorite Jack Reacher. 4.5 stars. 61 hours. Once again, Child spins a riveting tick-clock Jack Reacher adventure. This time we get a little more about the lone wolf's childhood and a long-distance flirtation, along with their hair-raising action scenes and typical maneuver fans. A blizzard strands Reacher in a small South Dakota town, where the police are guarding a government witness to a drug crime. While Reacher and the locals struggle with the elements and a possible riot at the nearby prison, a criminal mastermind plots his next move. Jace Kellerman. 4.5 stars. The Executor. Kellerman's back with this riveting tale, a modern-day take on crime and punishment. Its character study, part mind-twisting journey. A perspective shift late in the novel is particularly fascinating. Frustrated philosophy graduate student Joseph Geist is in dire straits. His girlfriend's broken up with him and his advisor has discontinued his doctoral studies. A combination of desperation and snobbery, a refusal to get a regular job, lead him to enter a peculiar ad in the paper for conversationalists, where he meets Alma Spielman, an old, infirm woman in search of company and philosophy conversation. An unlikely friendship develops, but things take a dark turn when Alma's nephew arrives. F.J. Chase, Bargain with the Devil. 4 stars. Bargain with the Devil. Non-stop action, highly charged suspense, and a generous amount of humor courtesy of resourceful hero Akavon. Frequent wisecracks make for a very entertaining read. Security consultant Peter Akvin knows that there's something fishy about his latest job offer from the beginning, but curiosity compels him to see what professional mercenary Hubert Payne Best and Peter DeWitt have to say. On the face of it, when they're asking seems simple enough. 1 million euros for doing the advanced work to remove a Central African government from power and replace it with a new regime. She's always going off. After that, there's no way out. By taking the meeting, Akron has tactfully agreed to be part of the shame. Once the CIA is involved, Akron is walking a very fine line, gathering intel, setting the coup in motion, and just trying to stay alive. I think, one more. Now, to me, this would be it is. Why do I have it? All right, wait a second. Okay. Now, to me, if this book belongs in paranormal or urban fantasy, but for whatever reason, probably because there's probably a crime or a murder that happens, Now, like I said, this should be in the paranormal section of the magazine, but for whatever reason, it's in the mystery section. And I have lost my glasses. Good Lord. Did you see what I did with my glasses? Good Lord. So now I'm missing my glasses. I didn't leave this 5-foot area, so they have to be here somewhere because they're invisible, because I can't see them. But anyways, if anybody figures out how to spread this podcast to other people to see them, let me know, because I work so hard on these. Mystery Writers of America present. Oh, well, that's why it's a mystery section. Crimes by Moonlight, Mysteries from the Darker Side. Charlene Harris, Carolyn Hart, Barbara D'Amato, Margaret Maron, and Max Allan Collins, and more. 4.5 stars. When 20 of the genre's most talented writers dip their toes into the paranormal, readers are big winners. In Dahlia Underground, Harris tells the tale of vampire after the attack of anti-vampire terrorists. Hart brings back Bailey Ruth Rayburn, an almost angel assigned to help mankind. S.W. Hubbard reveals the little girl behind a mysterious death in House of Horrors, and William Kent Kruger gives the story of the mystical circa a modern twist. So these are all the authors in there. So that's something to check out. All right. That's the end of mystery. We've got a couple of contemporary romance. Miss Nora Roberts, my favorite alter ego is J.D. Robb, my Eve Dallas series. I did all 60 of those books. I will forever buy those books. I have them all. I did every last one of them last year in a podcast. Please check them out. I even did the in-between ones, and I did them in order. I also did Janet Vanovich in order, James Patterson's Women's Murder Club in order. We did Krista Davis last year. We did a whole bunch of books. There's over 900 videos. Please check them all out, and all the Flashback Mondays, where you can get a variety of ideas for books you'd like to read. Savor the Moment, Nora Roberts, right there. Roberts' amazing bride quartet continues. The evolution of long-standing friendship into passionate love is delightfully explored in this warmingly romantic tale. Roberts never disappoints, and this book is the perfect cure for whatever ails you. Baking is Laurel McBain's passion. That she is able to use her talent as part of Vows, the wedding business she started with her best friend Mackenzie, Emma and Parker. Well, that's just icing on the cake. Laurel has known Parker's brother Delaney Brown since childhood, but until recently she didn't believe the rich Ivy League lawyer would look at her as anything other than a sister. However, a kiss bestowed in anger starts the sparks flying, and soon bets are wagered on how long these two can resist each other. Susan Mallory, Chasing Perfect. 4.5 stars. Consistently dazzling, Mallory is sure to delight her fans with the launch of a new series in the set of small foothill communities of Fool's Gold, California. The premise of the town trying to flourish despite its perennial shortage of men is charming and funny. Along with the humor, Mallory managed to build an emotional drama to help her stories both edgy and amusing. Having lived a truly nomadic childhood, City Planner Charity can't wait to put down roots, accepting a job to helping a new business and men to Tiny Fool's Gold just seems like the ticket. For whatever reason, men don't seem to stick around Fool's Gold. However, Former Tour de France winner Josh Golden is one who has. The tragic racing accident that took the life of a teammate still haunts Josh to the point that he has retired from the sport and he's making the small town his home. Rachel Ale. She breaks out of the it's not there. I love this magazine. I can go through it ever and ever. Nope. I wrote down the wrong page number. Alright, let's do this one first. Let me just... I don't understand. Not with the other ones. She's not here. Huh. Alright. Oh, there it is. Okay. Rachel Ayers. 4.5 stars. Breakaway. The return to the Hideaway legacy is fraught with danger, mystery, and smoking hot sex. Dr. Celia Cole Thomas' story emphasizes her strength in the face of tragedy, and the hero FBI agent Galvin Faulkner will keep the reader intrigued from start to finish of this beautiful story. Fans are also brought up to date on the latest changes in Cole's dynasty with hints of the next family member to have his or her story told. Celia was wounded during a horrific triple murder, where one of the victims included her fiancé. While on duty in a Miami emergency room, she has spent the last year recovering and waiting to be called as the state's sole witness. Deciding to spend time at her home in North Carolina, Celia's next step in the healing process. While there, she encounters Gavin and they bond over a wounded puppy. The FBI has assigned Gavin to bring his brother in safely from undercover operation. The fact that his case and Celia's shooting are connected is almost an afterthought. Okay. Francis Ray, it had to be you. 4.5 stars. The ability to bring a fresh voice to a long-running series is a gift that Ray possesses in spades. The newest to the Grace and Friends series takes readers into a clash of musical worlds. Zachary Allwright Wilder is the most sought-after producer in the music business. Zach feels that he is the one who can make violin virtuoso Laurel Renou's next album the breakout success that her earlier works promised. Laurel not so much. She has no interest in headlining the grabbing world that Zach represents and will not even meet him. This leads Zach's choice to meet her under a name she won't recognize at a resort where Laurel is staying. It seems like a good idea until they meet and fall for each other. Now he has to find a way to tell the truth. Okay. Rachel Gibson, Nothing But Trouble. 4 stars. Gibson thrills with another winner. She incorporates familiar faces in this tale of Seattle-based hockey team, but her latest heroine, Chelsea, is a delight, and reluctant hero Mark will warm the heart. When NHL player Mark is permanently injured in a car accident, he chases off every nurse his team owners send over. But when the free-spirited Chelsea shows up at his door, she won't let his surliness scare her away. The fact that Chelsea is actually an actress down on her luck and Mark's hockey team owner has promised her a big bonus to stick it out puts this relationship on thin ice even before it starts. Alright, Cheryl Woods, Sweet Tea at Sunrise. Three stars. Hero Travis had depth beneath his untroubled, undoubted charm, and heroine Sarah is sympathetic through most of the book, but her endless self-doubt taxes the reader's nerves eventually, and her sudden realization that she is in love with Travis just doesn't ring true. Finally divorced from a hypocritical and emotionally abusive man, Sarah Price is starting over with 2 children in Serenity, her small hometown. Working part-time as a tavern waitress, Sarah meets sweet-talking Travis McDonald, a former professional baseball player who's also decided what to do with the rest of his life, which turns out to be opening his own radio station in town and giving Sarah her own show. Travis is a flirt, a self-confessed player, and a great bomb for Sarah's still bruised self-confidence, but she can't take him seriously. Sarah makes Travis want things he's never thought before, a home and a family. Okay. Oh, I didn't write down any Harlequins? How bad of me. Alright, paranormals. My favorite section. We are currently doing this particular group of books, and I will be reviewing this book in about 2 books. So check them out. They're on the website now. Lovermind, the Black Dagger Brotherhood. I will be talking about this at great length in a couple of days, so please look for that video. Please look for Dark Lover, Darius, Lover Awakened, Lover Revealed, and all of the other Lover videos on my website and my YouTube channel, please. Please check them out. From the start, Black Dagger Brotherhood fans have breathlessly awaiting the destiny of the reincarnated John Matthews. Mega talented Ward doesn't do anything easy, as evidenced by several ongoing threads that continue to be explored. John Matthew has been, while he's been a secondary character through all of the books, his story is in every single book. He makes a little step forward in every single book. So, you have to check all of my videos out for John Matthew's story. Life has kick-started John Matthew in the teeth on numerous occasions, but the abduction of a half-vampire, half-simp Zex has nearly destroyed him. John's bitter enemy Lash has Zex imprisoned as his personal sex toy. Finding Zex and taking revenge on Lash are all that drives a tormented John. And Zex has a past, and John has a past, and they need to get together. Excellent series. Please check out my videos for these. The Demon in Me. Michelle Rowan, 4.5 stars. The Living in Eden starter is funny, sexy, and completely entertaining. Rowan writes charming, believable, and seriously funny heroines and then weaves a dark tale of intrigue around them. Watching Eden resolve her internal conflicts while struggling to stay alive and manage her attraction to the demon that possessed her is just magic. On her first day as a psychic consultant for the local police, Eden sees a serial killer gunned down in front of her. She watches as black smoke slings from his mouth and slams into her. Moments later, she begins to hear a voice inside her. A demon named Darok. After a foiled exorcism, Eden promises this seemingly nice demon shall help him remove a curse put on him 300 years ago. If he'll help her manage her romantic life with sexy detective Ben. Interesting. We will also be doing her books. I can't tell you how many different series this woman's got going. The Carpathians, the games, cat series, the game series, the Carpathians, the sisters, the weather. the spirit-bound books. So we've got Wildfire, 4 stars. Hatred and Love walk a fine line in Feehan's newest Leopard series. An assignment first brought Leopard shifter Conrad Vega and a special ops team into contact with Isabeau Chandler. When Isabeau's adoptive father is killed during the raid, she believes Connor betrayed her. Knowing that Isabeau is his destined mate, Connor is haunted by her hatred. However, when evil smuggler Imelda Cortez takes children hostage in Panama rainforest, Isabeau requests help from Connor's team. Connor soon learns that he is a personal escort to Skettle with the rogue shifters working with Cortez. Previously unaware of her heritage, Isabel is now close to her first shifting, and they need to help her. Love in the Time of Dragons. Katie McAllister, 4 stars. The dragon world is up to its ears in problems as the infamous Baltic returns. The heroine is at a real disadvantage as the only connection she has to her dragon past is amazingly vivid dreams. Most of the unusual cast members make an appearance, which is half the fun of these novels. Tully Sullivan really doesn't care much for the husband Gareth, but she adores her son Bram. Working as an apprentice to Madge, Tully is familiar with the supernatural, but she thinks she is human. After a fugue state, Tully wakes up surrounded by dragons who believe she is the reincarnation of Ysolda, the mate of the dangerous black dragon Baltic. Baltic has also apparently been reborn and is causing considerable consternation in the dragon world. Check that out. Gina Showalter. Okay. The collection of 3 short stories previously released as ebooks will not disappoint those fans who are familiar with the Lords of the Underworld series. Though newcomers may be lost, the last third is dedicated to some fascinating and entertaining special features. The Darkest Fire Greyon, slave to Prince of Darkness and Guardian of Hell, obsess over the goddess Cadence. Physically bound to the wall of the underworld, she guards the fact that it is crackling could kill her. Cursed by the gods to be neither seen nor heard, Amazon Nola is determined to find a way to rescue vampire Zane. Now a slave in Amazon's curse, the darkest prison has Atlas, Titan god of strength, who was once prisoner of Nike, Greek goddess of strength and victory. Now the roles are reversed. Stealing Catherine, 3 stars. Jacqueline Frank. Frank is a master of lush prose, combining beautiful fantasy with dark gothic horror and absolutely breathtaking imagery. If it's Beauty and the Beast meets Phantom of the Opera layered with dark sexual tension. Andre's sole purpose is to gather energy found in people's nightmares and deliver it to his master. The dark energy has transformed him from the handsome and powerful man he once was into a dark and twisted creature. In Catherine's nightmares, he finds obsession and steals her away in the night to keep her amongst his treasures. Catherine is both intrigued and repelled by the creature that stole her from her sleep and locked her away in his castle. She knows she'll never be free, always a prisoner, and yet, with the help of his sister, she begins to see the different side of Aiden. Miss Harris makes a second appearance with Sookie Stackhouse. We talked about Sookie Stackhouse in my Vampires Wine, and we'll talk about it again when we do the individuals books. Dead in the Family, 4.5 stars. Shockwaves from the epic events in Dead and Gone reverberate through Bon Toms, and Sookie Stackhouse will never be the same. The dark tone set by the previous novel continues, adding more danger. Character growth is a huge reason why Harrison's novels are so addictive. Her body may be recovering from her torture by the Fae, but emotionally Sookie's struggling. Although most of the Fae have left this world, a few remain, and at least one seems to be stalking her. Her fairy cousin Claude wants to move in, and Sookie reluctantly agrees. Eric and Sookie's bond is closer than ever, but even that is threatened when Eric Maker comes to town. See what happens there. Chaos Spice, Laurie Handelin. Liz Phoenix is back. The 4th book in the Phoenix Chronicles was worth waiting for. Handel utilizes her usual frantic pace, this time tempered by a dead-on focus. With some cast of great characters, Handel takes you on a fast-paced and a surprising journey. Liz has more to deal with than her dead lover visiting her dreams. Now she has this shape-shifting baby. As she searches for the key to raising Sawyer from the dead, she must protect his body from a new, undetectable evil. Trusting her ex-lover Jimmy Sanducci to help her, Liz searches her protected book. The path to the book is riddled with chaos and danger. Hopefully she gets there. Spirit Bound. 4 stars. After the intense and tragic events over the last few years, Danforth Rose has made it to graduation. But her greatest challenge may lie ahead. The Rose Eyes Mead has created a riveting world in a Vampire Academy series. The complexity of the book allows the various plot strands to weave together. After failing to kill her beloved Dmitri, who was turned Stroji, Rose returns to St. Vladimir's to complete the trial that will mark her graduation to Guardian of the Mirrors. Rose aces her trials and is now ready for her next challenge, breaking Victor Dashko out of prison. Victor claims he can lead them to a person who may know the secret of turning Sturgy back to Damphir. With Lisa and Eddie's help, Rose begins her dangerous quest. What none of them realize is the plot intrigue is also brilliant. Okay, and I don't know why. We're gonna go through this. We're gonna do some Harlequins, just a couple. I didn't write them down. Jenny Lucas, Tamed the Barbarian. There we go. 4 stars. 4.5 stars. 13 years ago, King Sharif of Kwansei and Jasmine Curry were teenage lovers. Now Jasmine is to marry another man unless Sharif can persuade her otherwise. Unable to bear children stemming from a horse-riding accident that was Sharif's fault, JAIME is resistant because she knows that a monarch's first duty is to produce an heir. Although she's desperate for her family's approval, especially now that her younger sister is pregnant, not marrying her fiancé will bring more shame to her father and mother. With this touching story of how past tragedies can mar the present, Lucas has written another winner. Redemptor's Kiss. Down there. And Christopher. Christopher takes a seemingly unredeemable rascal and transforms him into a hero readers will cheer for. Sometimes heart-wrenching, this story of redemption is masterfully done. Former Governor Butler humiliated himself, his wife Julian, and his presidential brother-in-law by having an extramarital affair while in office. His drinking, partying, and playboy ways come to an end when he nearly dies in an automobile accident. Julian has made a new life for herself and her daughter on the proprietor of a B&B. She is wooed by her accountant when Beau moves nearby. Beau, who is in therapy, still lives Julian and wants his family back. Together they come to terms with the tragedy that started their downward spiral as they build their love and trust. Let's see what else is here. Lost in Stallions. The one down here. I just had it. 4 stars by Deborah Fletcher Mello. Joanne Lake is a clothing designer for full-figured women and determined not to use her wealth or her father's notoriety to chart the course of her life. Luke Stallion wants to become a vital part of his family business, and overseeing the redevelopment of community center is a big step toward that. When he meets Joanne, who volunteers at the center, he is smitten, keeping her background, wealth, and family ties secret. She begins a relationship with him. We'll see how that goes. Maureen Child, The Last Lone Wolf. Four and a half stars by Maureen Child. When Daisy Saxon shows up at his ranch answering an ad for cook, Jericho King knows trouble's brewing. She's the sister of a man who died while under his command. Second, his hormones go on high alert when he sees her, and that's the last thing this lone wolf needs. Daisy believes that the military, and specifically Jericho, owes her a baby to make up for her lost family. Okay. And let's see. A Daughter's Legacy, Virginia Smith. After her mother's death by Kylie Jackson is shocked to learn that to receive her inheritance she must work at the zoo where her mother had been director. Kaylee dislikes animals but needs the money. She works under the new director, Jason Andover, who doesn't understand her aversion to animals. However, he is determined to carry out Kelly's mother's wishes, which has him caring more for Kelly than he ever thought possible. So I think that's it. We have some adult situations back here. Velvet Haven, Sophie Rennick, 4.5 stars. The Animal Chronicles begin with fascinating fantasy tale of good versus evil, what combines elements of Celtic mythology and religion with shapeshifters. Right there. Mystical creatures mingle with mortals at Velvet Haven, the nightclub that also serves as a portal between the mortal world and the other world. Both worlds have experienced ritual killings and are under attack from dark magic forces. The Bran the Raven's King of Seed goes to Velvet Haven searching for answers and to replenish his energy through sex with a mortal, where he meets Marai and her friend Rowan, mortals and powers and sex and sex and sex and sex. Bedtime Stories, Jean Johnson. Johnson retools 8 fairy tales by adding sexual elements. The Princess on the Glass Hill features a gifted scientist who finds she wants more out of life after a space captain working a dare into the first to arouse her sexual feelings. In Beauty and the Beast, the unthinkable happens when a normal falls for one of the cat-like warriors who defend the nation of Sculpin. Okay. I think that's it. We have more adult stuff if you're interested in checking it out. This magazine covered everything and anything, and I'm still trying to figure out how to spread the word out there that I'm doing these, that I'm showing people a variety of mystery, contemporary romance, historical, paranormal, mystery, inspirationals, erotica, urban, paranormal, fantasy, sci-fi, the whole 9 yards. And please help me get the word out, and please hit the like and subscribe, and don't forget If Then Fridays. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed all this.